Featuring the first completely restyled Corvette since 1968 and the first totally re-engineered Corvette since 1963, Chevrolet decided to forego the 1983 model year due to the late introduction. In 1977, the decision was made to keep the Corvette the traditional front-engine, rear-wheel drive two-seat configuration, ultimately axing the mid-engine concept. Design would be more evolutionary rather than revolutionary, and the first not designed by Zora Arkus-Duntov but rather Dave McClellan. The C4 would run until 1996, with the last C4 rolling off the line on June 20th, 1996. The Corvette we are looking at is a year 1 1984 C4 Coupe shown in bright red clear coat and features the then $400 optional graphite perforated leather seats. When new 1984 pricing is shown to the left. The Corvette is still constructed of fiberglass reinforced plastic body panels, with the hood at the time being the largest single-piece fiberglass panel ever installed on a production vehicle. The 60-degree raked windshield was also the steepest in production history as well. For those who don't know, the word Corvette is the name of a small warship, a class below a frigate. Of course, true to heritage and nature, all C4 Corvettes are rear-wheel drive with power for this car coming from the 5.7-liter, 350 cubic inch displacement L83 Crossfire injection V8. The engine is of cast iron block and head construction with two single-barrel Rochester throttle body injections and a 9.0 to 1 compression ratio. Crossfire injection would be in 1984 only, as the 1985 and up would receive tune port injection 350 V8s. The engine creates 205 horsepower at 4,300 RPM, 290 pound-feet of torque at 2,800 RPM. In March of 1983, Car and Driver magazine tested their cars from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.4 seconds, with 0 to 100 miles per hour reach in 20 seconds. Quarter mile was in 15.2 seconds at 90 miles per hour with a top speed of 138 miles per hour. With great performance comes great sacrifice, and that is fuel economy, and in the Corvette's case. The 1984 C4 featured a 20 US gallon fuel capacity and consumed a whopping 6.7 gallons per 100 miles driven, compared to the 2020 C8's 5.3 gallons per 100 mile consumption. Total estimated driving range is approximately 300 miles with EPA fuel economy ratings at 13 miles per gallon city, 20 miles per gallon highway, and 15 miles per gallon combined. Not great in any respect, but this was 1984 and gas was cheap. While a 4-speed automatic transmission was available, this car features a trick Doug Nash designed and built 4+3 speed manual with overdrive at the top 3 gears, which is activated by a rocker switch mounted after the shifter on the console. The overdrive gears were to help the Corvette meet EPA fuel economy requirements of that day. Around the rear of the Corvette, one can see the heritage styling with the rear wraparound bubble-style glass window and the iconic quad-circular tail lamps. This car is fitted with, in my opinion, a hideous aftermarket rear wing that does this car absolutely no favors. I like the nicely integrated rear bumpers that almost look absent. Down below are aftermarket dual exhausts that give the car a nice low grumble from the V8, as you can hear here. Along the profile, with a short 96.2-inch wheelbase and overall length of 176.5 inches, the C4 still looks like a Corvette with the more modern sleek lines that give the car an almost exotic look, especially in the early 1980s where the sleek wedge style wasn't exactly a thing. With the roof panel removed, it looks good even today. Steering is hydraulically assisted rack and pinion with 2.5 turns lock-to-lock and a 40.1-foot turning radius. Wheels are the optional 16-inch aluminum wheels with staggered 16 by 8.5-inch wheels up front. 16 by 9.5 inch wheels in the rear, fitted with P2 5550 VR16 tires front and rear. Brakes are 4-wheel ventilated discs with 11.5 inch rotors front and rear. A first for GM, calipers are sourced by Gearlock of Australia and are fin-style, low-drag aluminum single-piston calipers with no ABS or any other type of assist. These brakes can bring the Corvette from 70 miles per hour to 0 in 173 feet. Up front is somewhat familiar looking, especially to F-body owners of the 1980s, as it seems to be an amalgamation of Firebird and Camaro. Not a bad thing. The C4 features flip-up headlamps with sealed beam lights. It's an odd how the headlight doors open 180 degrees to the on position. Just below in the bumper are the parking lights and turn indicators along the side of the car, with the cornering and side marker lights just below the black side stripe. Oddly, the C4 cars have always featured a large front and rear overhang. This particular C4 is actually in really good shape. Alright, now we're going to go inside and take a look. Opening the doors is easy. You just have door handles. There's no keyless remote entry on this car. The inside is actually pretty nicely constructed. It actually held up well over time. This is the graphite interior, although you could also get black, tan, blue, and red. Illuminated entry system. Oddly, you have your wiper controls on the door panel. This vehicle does feature power windows and power door locks, as well as the power adjustable mirrors. We do not have the sport seats here, we just have the normal leather seats. They do have perforated leather inserts. They are very comfortable and very supportive. They almost look like Ferrari Testarossa seats. You can see here the detail of the stitching and the perforations. The leather on this car has held up so well. Alright, on the dashboard you do have your headlamp controls as well as fog lamp controls. And your driver's side air vent. Leather wrapped tilt and telescoping steering wheel. The telescoping part is very old school Cadillac style with the unlocking wheel rim. Underneath here you do have your hood release and 3 pedals indicating a manual transmission car. Alright, let's pan through the interior and show more details. As you can see here, nice, very tight power assisted steering. It is a completely leather wrapped steering wheel. Of course, there's no airbags. You do have the classic GM multifunction stop with the integrated cruise control and turn signal, as well as your high beam controls. The wiper controls are actually on the door as stated before. Here we are, the first application of liquid crystal instruments, full instrumentation in the Corvette. It's all digital. Now, we don't have our backlighting on this, but as you can see, it's very clear and kind of easy to read, even in not so bright light conditions. Alright, panning down the dash, you have 4 air vents in the middle. Here are your control switches for operating your multi-reconfigurable instrument cluster. This is a warning light bank here. We do have an aftermarket AM/FM CD radio here. And down below are the very easy to use, pulled right out of the GM parts bin, air conditioning climate controls. There's a little plaque for the 4+3 Doug Nash transmission. I'm not sure what is up with this bright orange boot, but it works. It was actually black from the factory. You do have dual cup holders Your power window switches are here. Your overdrive selector is here for your top 3 gears. Your mirror control, left and right, and then your joystick to control the glass. Small tiny storage, and you have some more storage in your center armrest, trunk release, tape cassette storage, things of that nature. Overall, I actually like the interior of these 80s Corvettes. They're sporty, they're comfortable. The crash pad for the what was supposed to be a passenger airbag, but it's just a crash pad. Manually dimming mirror. Opening the trunk is easy. Just press that yellow button and your glass flips up. The 1982 Collector Edition Corvettes aside, the C4 would be the first general production Corvette to feature a hinged opening rear glass panel to allow easier access to the luggage compartment. With the roof panel removed, capacity is 17.9 cubic feet and non-existent with the roof panel stowed in place. The load floor is flat and carpeted, albeit shallow, due to the chassis and suspension structures underneath. However, it does make good use of its available space. Underneath your mats, you do have 2 locking compartments with storage inside. You also have these removable, cleanable storage areas. And underneath all that, you do have your top removal tool and deeper storage underneath all of that. And of course, as stated before, it is a locking storage compartment. And on this side, because there's no glove box, this acts as the glove box and does feature like all the owner's manual and all that information there. Alright, this does conclude our review of the 1984 C4. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And of course, check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhoodcarreviews and Instagram at BrensoJ1. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.